I got a code reader too, just to see if we had something of a surprise.
Starter's just got so much drag.
Well, now, is your faith in me just slightly restored after that brief episode where I went and bought a Ford? Now, went and bought 2 Dodges since then. Well, I bought one, my buddy bought the other one. But this 3rd gen literally falls in the category of the cheapest 3rd gen common rail Dodge that I've ever bought. And it's the cheapest one, except for that one time where it was too good of a deal, but I drove 2 hours one way and the guy was a no-show. But other than that deal, this is the best deal I've seen on one. But unfortunately, there's a couple things that go along with it. We had a trailer at home. It's been off the road for a couple years and had some back fees. And, well, she knows start. You guys saw that clip. And I was a little worried the other night that the engine might be tight. So, came out here with a screwdriver.
Well, I was a little bit nervous that maybe we had a seized engine because it wasn't turning over with the starter. But that feels all right to me.
Yep, the engine's still free, so we're going to go ahead and slap a new starter in it. But the thing about rigs like this, if it's not starting, you can't verify any of the issues with it. So you're pretty much taking a major gamble buying this. So he came in at a low asking price, OBO. I came in quite a bit lower than that, just throw cash at it, see if it would stick. Don't need the project, but I can't turn down a good deal. Unfortunately, cursed. We met right in the middle, even grounds. And right now we're going to find out if the new starter will make this thing run. I've had it on the battery charger for a couple days now. It seems like they're taking a little bit of juice and holding it. So we're starter, Amazon. Let's throw it in there. Not exercising the idea that you don't need to use too many boxes. It's that Bezos guy. He'll triple box everything. But if you got something that you want to be protected, he'll just put it in a bag. Genuine 3rd gen starter. I believe this is about half the price of Napa. I'm okay with that. Come on, toolbox. Let's go. Well, before we get too ahead of ourselves, I want to give you guys a quick tour of the truck. 2004 automatic common rail. Brand new Bradford flatbed on it. Local boys kind of outfitted this. I'm not going to throw their name out there because then you kind of know where I'm at. But it's just kind of funny, the gap that they got here. I think I would have dropped that down about to there. Either way, that's a nice bed. I'm going to do a comparison between that and Great Northern. And I'm leaning towards one of them. It might not be the Gap one, but either way, it's got a nice, valuable bed on it. Frame looks to be pretty good. This is something I did not account for, and I'll show you in a second. But it's got nice tires and wheels with meat. That's kind of rare. Happy about the, tread pattern. Happy about the wheels. Visually, this is a very nice looking run-around ranch truck. Aftermarket grill. Check her out. Fog lights. Even my old Ford didn't come factory with those. Had to upfit those. So that's a neat little option. Got a little bumps and bruises here and there. Not a big deal. In the back of the truck, we got a dog leash thing. Hose clamp. Something up there with wires. Oh, look at that. They put the Ram badge off of 4chan on there. Oh, all 4 tires matching and got meat on them. Well, we got a MagTech diff cover. That's good. Don't even look at that. I'll show you in a second. Don't even look at this. I'll show you in a second. Got a deep dish pan. Transmission might be chopped up a little bit. Frame looks oddly crusty. I asked him what happened to the bed. Maybe he still had it. Throw it in the deal. He said it was pretty damaged up, like they had been hauling scrap metal or something. I said, okay, I'll take the deal. Then I saw this. We'll get to that in a second. Don't even look at that. I already ordered a new seat cushion and seat cover, and it'll fix this. It looks like they did a little bit of work right there. That's actually a nice upholstery shop done right there. That's sewed in there. Could get a new one of these. I think I might have actually ordered one of those. But it's just a good ranch truck. It looks like it's holding voltage. We got lights. Roof liner seems to be good. Let's open up the glove box. I guess we got lockers on there somewhere. Threw in an extra set of brake pads. Appears to be fronts. Had to take this thing off the keys immediately. Annoying. Nothing too extra to report. Brake controller cable. Oh, there's a brake controller. And now this is where it gets juicy. This particular vehicle. Keep in mind, when I'm buying a vehicle, I'll look it over, not expecting rust, because California, in my area, if it's been a local truck, you'll never have rust. They do an excellent job. Older rigs handle their own, no rust. But this rig here started its life out on the streets. I believe 3 months after it was built, it hit the dealer inventory and was sold in New Jersey. New Jersey. It went down to Texas for a brief stint and then back up to New York and stayed the rest of its life until 2017. It was in freaking New York. I already made the deal on the truck before I pretty much even went down there. We had a number that we had agreed on, pretty much. Wasn't finalized, but I told him I'll take it. And then I saw a bubble right here. Punched her in. Look at that. Oh, a freaking New York truck. Caught me off guard. Luckily, thank God, the doors survived. But right here, look at this. Oh my goodness me. Try not getting tetanus. But the inner structure is still alive. So luckily I got some fabrication skill built up in the last couple months on that 66, because I can just snip this right here, and it's not even really a round edge right here, but I can make that on the brake and I can replace all this. That was such a bummer, but like I said, I was a man of my word. He took my price, and I had already shook the man's hand. And even still with that issue, I think we'll be able to make this truck good again. And it's rhino-lined on the bottom. Kind of a telltale sign. But I can just cover it up with rhino-line, so I don't have to do a like hardcore grinding, body filler, anything trying to make it look factory under there, because it's going to blend in. And this truck actually looks really well with rhino-line. And the boys at Black Patch Performance already reached out. I got a bumper on the way for this thing, so it's going to meet the rest of the fleet. So let's get this starter swapped out, because we're caught up to speed now, and we're putting in a prayer this starter will do it.
Cross my feet and toes.
Yeah. Hopefully she starts and doesn't have any rogue noises. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let's see what it does. Is it automatic?
Windows work. Slightly nervous.
They got diesel?
It's priming. I
Okay,
hear the fuel pump kicking.
cool. That will just let her click until she stops, yeah. That sounds good, Sam.
Yeah. You got yourself a mouse? Good boy. Yeah, kitty. Got himself a little mouse. I didn't notice it came with the Hoochie Girls. Woo, it's cold. 2 of them. But now that we got the bad starter out, I need this trailer today. Yeah, I got work to do. Ran out of time yesterday. I fear the cold start's going to be a little rough. Wipers work? Oh, and they're not completely ragged out. No idea what these chicken lights go to. Looks like we got an alarm added onto it. Backwards handle, that's nice. That fuel filter's coming too. Early morning doesn't tell you crap, but I would say that the fuel filter is definitely not letting the cold starts go very easy, but I had to find out. I say we're good. Telltale sign, even if it doesn't lift the cap up, if you have oil sticking to the lid, if you flip it over like that, fuel filters be here tomorrow. You know, we got other stuff to address, but she runs. She drove herself off the trailer. And the transmission goes into gear. I'm gonna have to check the old fluid when she's up to temperature just a little bit. And the batteries are doing something. I'm gonna throw them back on the charger and make sure we got some life, but we gotta go do some work. Well, the new seat cover showed up. I think I'll make a couple videos out of this truck, bringing her back around, and we're gonna put a little diesel in it right now. See if that helps its cause. Here's a weight reduction. Ugh. I like putting this stuff in all my rigs. It is Lucas upper cylinder lubricant, injector cleaner, and fuel conditioner. I don't know how old this fuel is, but there's hardly any in it. Light's been on immediately, so she's nice and low. So, okay. We're gonna dump quite a bit of this in there, just to really help out the injectors and all that mess. Just to make me feel a little bit better about the old girl. This is pretty much the only stuff I run. You can put ATF, just put a quart in there. Not every tank, maybe every tank. It's not gonna hurt, it's just fine. But it helps just keep things flowing. Yeah, good thing the tank is plastic, not like that old school stuff. It would have rotted. Well, driving her down this private road just to see what she's got. Downshift. One nice thing is I've seen in the past that these 04s, you get the alignment off with the cable, you get a new cable, so at least this thing's lining up for the shifters. Well, she started developing a little bit of a hard crank, and really hard crank. If we look back there, can't see it, I know. Number 6, I think that's a suspected problem child, but the number 6 injector line looks like it's leaking, so that's why we're having hard start, because we ain't building enough fuel rail pressure. Nice new white fuel filter, and the old one, it's got a red tinge to it. I don't know why, but it's still showing white. Looks like, honestly, yeah. Well, we're gonna swap her out. I drained the fuel filter canister a couple of times. This also doubles as a water separator. That was one of the downfalls of a common rail. Early ones, mind you, is they didn't have a good enough fuel filtration system. So on the newer trucks now, like that one up there, and this one actually, I don't remember, but I deleted it immediately. But the newer stuff, anyway, they got a fuel filter, water separator right at the tank, and then they have another one of these that's even harder, core of a micron, up here at the front. So you get good fuel filter. So you get clean fuel going through your common rail injectors that they're sensitive. Well, I came back around. I don't know. Common rails. Man, I haven't had a stock one in so long. Normally when the throttle response isn't very great and it hangs a little bit, you got a hung injector as it is dripping. I'm gonna have to put my other scan tool on it. Let's drive this down the shop. I'm gonna do a little injector kill test, I guess. Yeah, you can hear each one of them. It's like pulling the plug on a... Trying to think and work at the same time. It's like pulling a plug on a spark plug. Pulling the wire. Oh, number 5. Oops. Number 5 definitely sounded like it didn't really affect it too much. Come on, get around to it. I didn't accidentally hit escape. All right. Damn, number 6 really brings her down. Yeah, number 5 is barely affecting it. Well, that one took it down to... Oh, shoot. I mean, all of them are working good. Number 6, when I cut him off. Now they all feel about the same. Let's try 5 again. I don't know. Alright. I went through all that, checking everything. I'm liking the pressures. I'm liking the rail pressure when it's at idle. Liking when it's revving up and going continuous with it. Now, I did shut it off to erase the codes a second ago, and it fired right back up to see if she... I'm okay with that. That fired right up. It would not come back around the other night after I drove it around. The injector kill test, it seemed like it did some functions that I liked. It sounded pretty consistent. Took the RPMs down about the same, but it does have a little hang. You can hear it when you throttle it up. It'll come down smooth and then stutter. So I'm still thinking the injector's tickling just a little bit. If you run something like that for too long, running it hard and it dripping, you'll burn up a piston. But this thing, it doesn't have a burn up piston, doesn't have the blow by. That's how you'll see it. It will be hard cranking. And it'll have a bunch of blow by. You'll see it just dumping down the bottom, which I don't see any of that, and I didn't see any of it when the cap was flipped. Trying to think of some other... Just throw a bunch of injector cleaner down it, or you do swap the injectors, but I don't think they're that far gone because they're still starting good. Well, after a fuel filter. I don't know what the deal was there. But I'm going to go ahead and put some ATF down the throat of it. Give it a little extra substance. But this was one hell of a week. I bought this crew cab Ford pickup. You have to see that on the other channel. She's got parts on it now. She actually powers up and goes. And then I bought this one non-running. So I bought 2 non-runners the same week. And they were both actually the same freaking price. But I'm going to put a little ATF down it. It's an old cowboy trick right here. If you're ever out and about and you accidentally run your vehicle out of fuel, let's say you're running 2 tanks or whatever have you, and somebody comes and gives you a little bit of fuel, puts it in the tank, and your fuel filters are dry, or you're swapping your filters, you just take a quart of this or whatever it takes. I can't get it with one hand. And you put this straight in your fuel filters, and it acts as diesel, and it'll prime your rig up a lot quicker. I mean, it's already primed, so put this down there. It doesn't hurt it by running ATF through it. This is old school kind of stuff. man, that is like, I'm just gonna make you suffer through me watching get this off, because she is just a beaut. Actually got sick last week and I lost all strength, so it's just starting to come back around. Put a little bit of that sauce down her and we'll be good to go, I hope. It's a nice truck. I actually really like this thing. It looks good, and it has honestly started sounding better and better the more I've ran it. There we go, fire starter. All right, let's run her through the gears. Second gear felt solid. Well, it appears to have at least the first 3 gears. 10 mile an hour speed limit. I broke that. Oof. We'll get her up on the road at some point, but not bad for not running for a couple years. She seems to, for the most part, be back where it needs to be. There was a weird clown back there. I don't know what the heck that was, but we're out of there. Well, I'm thinking we might have a boost leak. It's been so long since I drove a stock common rail 3rd gen, you know? I don't know. Feels like a 12 valve after putting any kind of sauce. These things literally are the best freaking things for making immediate power with just a simple tune. Obviously, you got to put a little bit of extra fuel to it because the stock lift pump ain't got the sauce or the filtration like it's talking about, but these things will just get up and go, and if you got an automatic, it'll throw your trans out the back window really quick. But this thing feels all right. I'm just gonna do a little bit more digging around, see if I got a boost leak, because it doesn't feel like the turbo is really clicking into gear like I'm hoping. But it's got all 4 gears and reverse. So it's got all 5 gears and lockup. So it's doing stuff that we like. She's coming back around a little bit. Yeah, throttle response is definitely improved. Let's see how she come back around. We lost her a little bit there, but she fired back up. What was that? What just dinged at me? I'll tell you what, guys, that, for some reason, I'm really digging how this truck looks. That's a good looking rig. Got the off stance just a little bit on the 18-inch black wheels. Good meats on them. That's a big selling point on this truck too. Good tires, good wheels. Leveling kit, can't even honestly tell in the Bradford bed. When I saw this truck initially and saw the price, I was like, well, if it doesn't run or anything, those 2 items right there will make up a lot of that price if we have to, you know, tear it down and part it out. But we got super lucky because it's honestly a major gamble buying a truck that's cheap and it doesn't run. So right now I got a new starter and a fuel filter into it, 150 bucks in. I just drove this thing to town. Went through all the gears, locked up, heat works, all the windows appear to work. And first and foremost, above all, it is running. It doesn't have a bunch of blow-by. In fact, I hardly saw anything at all. It doesn't have a rod knock, and it's still got a clean title, despite the fact I got to do rust repair underneath because it's a New York truck. But we checked off a lot of major boxes on this rig, and I'm pretty happy with it. I've never had a 3rd gen that was silver. I've had a lot of whites, a lot of white 3rd gens, and the maroon ones. I don't know why I always just ended up with those 2 flavors, but I like this rig. I just saw the delivery guy go by from my dad's house, guarantee it. He dropped off the bumper from Black Patch Performance, so that'll come next round. This video is going to end. We did the full test drive running around. Next one's going to be the service. We're going to tear into the interior, get new seat covers, new seat cushions where it needs it, and what else? Oh, yeah. We're going to fix the metal stuff. We're not going to just Bondo over it or whatever. We're going to cut out all the rusty stuff underneath on the rockers, and we're going to put good steel on there. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I really personally like going out and getting one of these trucks that's been parked up for a long time. It's a lot more trustworthy to go with a 12 valve because those things are pretty much hard as hell to kill. But if you do not maintain a common rail with proper fuel filters and filtration and running good stuff through it, you can kill injectors. But I believe we caught these things early enough that we should be safe because the truck's running good. But, you know, that's something for down term. You always got to watch out for. And well, I got enough fuel concoction juice in the tank that I think we should bring those injectors back around. But anyway, let me know what you guys think about this old rig. Old gray, I don't know. Hopefully she treats us well. I think I might have a buyer for it too. We'll see you guys in the next one.